everybody and welcome back. So in today's video I am going to be doing a review of the new Charlotte Tilbury foundation. So here's the thing, I had not planned to review this foundation at all. It's just from what I heard about it, it's just not really my thing. I go for, as you guys know, light to medium coverage type of foundations, and this seemed to be more of a medium to full type of foundation, which is just not my speed. But I placed an order with Sephora a couple of weeks ago, and they gave me the option of choosing a free sample size version of the foundation. So I went ahead and I said I could do it, I could test it out at least for my channel and let people know, you know, how this foundation works, even if I don't plan to buy it. They had a variety of shades, but not the full spectrum, not the full line of shades that they carry in the stores. So for samples, they had, I think it was like every 3 shades or something like that they had a sample for. I ordered shade 13. I thought that would be the best match for me, but they ended up sending me shade 10 in true Sephora fashion. All like, you're not gonna get the sample that you want, you're gonna give the sample that we give to you. And so I'm hoping beyond hope that this sample matches, because I really don't feel like going to the Sephora store and getting samples for a foundation that I'm probably not gonna buy. This is 10 neutral and I'm not neutral at all, and it looks a little light skin in the bottle. I don't think the color is going to be too off to where I'm going to be like embarrassed to leave the house or something. Let's just get started with the video. Okay, so I moved you guys up just a little bit closer so you can get a good look at the foundation on my face. I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit about it. This is the Airbrush Flawless Foundation, stays all day and night. So I have the box here. I have the box, it came in this box. I opened it up from the bottom, and then this is the size of the sample that they sent. So it says on the box, apply your Airbrush Flawless Foundation, blending outwards from the center of your face for a flawless airbrushed finish. I'm not entirely certain what kind of finish this has, because I haven't watched many Charlotte Tilbury foundation reviews, to be honest. So I'm going in on this really blind. I'm going to apply one side with a brush and then the other side with a sponge. Alright, so this is so freaking weird, having this little itty bitty bottle, but it has a little pump on it. Isn't it cute? Yeah, it's so cute. Alright, so I'm just going to pump a little bit in my hand, or on my hand. Okay, this doesn't look too bad. It's a little light. 10 neutral. Yeah, it's a little light, but we're just gonna go for it. And I'm just gonna apply some. Ooh, that's a little. Oh, that's light, girl. That's light. Ooh, I'm not gonna put too much on. And blend this in with the brush. That color actually is not bad once it's blended out. So as you guys can see, this covered a lot with just the little bit that I had. It covered a lot. I'm gonna put a little bit more under my eyes and right here where I have some discoloration, and then yeah, I'm just gonna put a little bit more. So I used maybe half a pump. However, I will say that this is more coverage than I typically go for. This is, I will say right now, this is at full, and it seems like you can definitely build it up. My eyes are completely covered. There's just a hint of dark circles there, but there's no foundation that would work to get rid of my dark circles completely. I definitely have to use concealer, but it's definitely covering the darkness that I have and some hyperpigmentation that I have on my chin. Yeah, this is definitely a medium to full coverage, which isn't really my speed, but it's still beautiful. It doesn't look cakey or anything at all. So I'm just gonna apply this to the other side with a sponge and see how this works out. This is how much I have left on my hand. I didn't push the pump down all the way, so about another half of a pump. Okay, you guys, so it is a little light, but it works. I can make it work, especially if I was bronzing and things like that. But it doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look like casket ready or anything. It's a little bit brighter than I typically go for, especially in the summer. I think that I like the side with the brush application a little bit better than with the sponge. But regardless, this did an excellent job in covering up most of my blemishes just with the 1.5 to 2 pumps that I used. You can hardly see the blemishes on my chin and the hyperpigmentation on my various parts of my face. Covered up my freckles completely except for the one on my nose, which I've explained before will only cover up with concealer. With a sponge, it does sheer it out a bit, which is to be expected. If you want a more natural look, then I would go with the sponge, but if you want more full coverage, obviously go with the brush. This dries down to a nice matte. It's actually already dried on the side where I applied it with the sponge, but on the side where I used the brush, which had more product, it's still a little bit tacky. So if you use a brush, you might need to powder, but I wouldn't powder if I were just using the sponge. Soft matte is the finish. It's not really radiant, but I could see it getting more radiant throughout the day. But yeah, this looks pretty good. I'm gonna zoom you guys in just so you can see how it looks really up close. Yeah, it's just a little tacky on this side. I don't have any sort of, let me grab my mirror. I don't have any sort of creasing or anything right away. Forehead lines are pretty covered. I frown a lot, which is why I have my forehead lines are so deep. I need to stop doing that. Around my nose, it looks okay. It looks good. It looks good. I don't have any complaints right now, so I am going to zoom you guys back out. Okay guys, so yeah, it looks pretty good. Let me see if I can show you guys. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I don't have many places to go today. I'm actually going to be hanging out around the house a lot. I'm going to be doing some cleaning. I'm going to run to the grocery store to get some food for this weekend, but yeah, I'm not gonna, and it's very hot. It is about 81 degrees right now. It's just hitting 10 o'clock, so it's gonna be a hot day. We will see how this holds up. I'm just gonna go and do my eyes really quickly, and that's pretty much it. I don't do bronzer or setting powder or anything when I'm doing foundation reviews. So I'm just gonna go and do my eyes really quickly, and then I will be back to show you guys how it looks before I start doing my check-ins. Hey guys, so I'm back. I just did something with my eyes. I am actually experimenting with this Cakey palette, which is my favorite palette right now. I am absolutely loving it. Everything else is settled. It is 10:32 right now, so this has been on for almost 30 minutes, and yeah, it's too bright, too light. I don't like the color, but it doesn't look terrible in real life. It looks really bad on camera, but the 10 is not working for me. I definitely need a shade that's darker and warmer. This is 10 neutral. I will say though that I'm not going to hold that against the foundation, because you know, if it color match, it was a sample, it wasn't my correct shade, so whatever. But yeah, I'm done with this portion of the video. I'm just gonna go around now doing my business. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna go get some food for this weekend for breakfast. I'm gonna clean up a little bit, wash some clothes, vacuum, do things like that around the house, and then I will check in midday. So like I said, now it's 10:35. I'm probably gonna check in around 1 o'clock, and then again before I wash the makeup off. So I will see you guys in the next check-in. Okay, you guys, so I am in my backyard per usual, and I am giving you guys a midday check-in. Hold on just a second. There's a plane coming over. Okay, so the plane is gone. It is 3:55, so just shy of 4 o'clock. I have been wearing it since about, I think, 9 or 9:30. Yeah, or something like that. So I've been wearing it about 6 or 7 hours. It looks okay. It's kind of worn off in some areas of my face, particularly under my eye and on my chin. But I will say this, I did fall asleep. I fell asleep on the couch, which is not something that I typically do when I'm doing wear tests. I took a Benadryl and that stuff stays in my system forever. So that could be why it's worn off right here. I don't really want to blame the foundation, but I didn't find anything on my I didn't find any transfer on my shirt or on my couch or anything, so I don't know if it rubbed off or if it wore off, but I do notice that it's worn off a little bit around my eye area. But other than that, it's still set, no transfer. My nose is fine, my forehead is fine. I don't have any oiliness or excessive oil coming out or anything or breaking the makeup up. And that's about it, you guys. So this is how I'm looking in the sunlight. I'm gonna walk over to this. It looks good. I mean, it's not my favorite, but it does look good. So I'm gonna check in one more time this evening before I wash it off. Okay, you guys, so I'm back. I just wanted to check in this one last time before the sunlight goes down, because as you guys know, I am using natural light these days, so I don't really want to depend on ring lights and setting them all up if I don't have to. So it is now 6:23, and I can't remember if I put this on at 9:30 or 10:30. So it's been on about 7 or 8 hours now, and then I'm going to actually take this off in a minute, get ready for bed and everything. I found this foundation to be really interesting, and I'm not going to say I don't like it, but it's certainly not the best that I have ever used, and I think there are better mattes out there. I was just really curious as to the focus of this foundation and what it was supposed to do and why there was so much hype around it. And I think that this is a little matte and a little too full coverage for me, but even still, I feel like I can make it work. I definitely feel like you can tell that I have on makeup, even though I only used 1.5 to 2 pumps, and I shared it out pretty much, and you can still really tell that I have makeup on. I feel like the foundation, for it to be a satin matte and for it to be full coverage, it did not wear as well as some of my less coverage foundations. It's got a lot of wear. It looks good from afar, but when you're up close in my face, it does not look too hot. So I was just curious about what this foundation was supposed to do, so I went to Charlotte Tilbury's site and I pulled up the product information, and I'm just going to read a little bit to you guys. I'm going to go down a checklist and I'm going to let you know if any of these applied to me while I was wearing this foundation today. So it does say that it's skincare, so it visibly reduces the appearance of wrinkles up to 22% after 8 weeks of use. Fortunately, I don't have wrinkles. I do have some lines in my forehead from always walking around with a perpetual frown or surprised look on my face, but no wrinkles and no fine lines anywhere else, so except for under my eyes. So I don't know how well that would apply for me, but if I used it for 8 weeks, I probably wouldn't see a huge difference there. Maybe someone else would, who is really trying to get control of their wrinkles and their fine lines. This is Charlotte's new innovation foundation. It's the secret to a flawless, poreless looking, confident complexion. Poreless. I do have pores around my nose, and I think that they did a pretty good job camouflaging the pores. I do. So I will give it that. A stay all day, weightless, full coverage formula with a natural matte finish. I would say that this is more of a satin matte, not natural matte. You can definitely tell that I have foundation on my face. A stay all day, I'm not too certain of that. Like I said, I am starting to see wear after 7 or 8 hours. I would consider all day 8 to 10 hours. So the fact I mean, I guess you can say it's long wearing, but I've had foundation that will stay on for 12 hours and not move on my face. Again, I do have normal skin. I do get a little bit oily on my nose, but that's even still. If I wear a matte foundation, I definitely don't get oil on my nose, and this is oily. I have oil on my nose right now, so I would say this is more of a satin matte finish. It contains Charlotte's magic matrix of ingredients, the groundbreaking Magic Replexium, to significantly reduce the appearance of wrinkles up to 22% after 8 weeks of use. Moss Cell Tech trademark #1 to boost hydration by up to 216%, and air cool for an instant fresh feel on the skin. So I guess that's supposed to mean it has a cooling effect. I felt no cooling effect whatsoever. My skin did not feel cool. I know what cooling effects are and what they do. I do feel that sometimes with skincare, and I do feel it sometimes with makeup that's supposed to double as skincare. I did not feel that here. I don't know if it's my skin or how I applied it or anything like that, but I did apply it directly to my skin after sunscreen, and no, I didn't get any type of cooling effect whatsoever. Moisture levels boosted by 216% in 1 hour. No, I didn't feel particularly moisturized or anything like that. It went on like your average matte foundation. So I changed my battery out, sorry about that. We're gonna go down the list here of things that they have. 98% agree that the foundation feels lightweight and comfortable. It feels comfortable, and it does feel lightweight. I don't feel it on my face or anything like that. I just, when I walk past a mirror or something, I do notice that I do look a lot more made up. That could be because of the color. Although in the sunlight it looks like it's a match, but I know for a fact that this isn't the best match that I could have done, so I'm not holding that against the foundation. The actual feel of it is very comfortable. I didn't feel like it was drying on my face. It didn't feel like heavy like some matte foundations. It really did feel very comfortable and very light. I will give it that. I'm gonna zoom you guys in, and that's all the product information they had on this. Like I said, it's not the worst. I like the foundation, but not enough really to purchase it. It costs $44. And honestly, I have so many foundations that I need to use up right now. And also, I just feel like for $44, I could probably get something else that I like better, that works better for my skin with a satin matte finish. I wouldn't go to the store and purchase this foundation. I just don't see anything extraordinary about it that would make me want to spend $44 on it. That's not to say it's a bad foundation, just that I don't see anything remarkable about it. Okay guys, so you guys are up close and personal with me. I just want to show you a little bit about how it is looking. Like I said, I do have lines. I've had these lines since I was a teenager. But I do have lines on my forehead, and you can see the foundation really didn't settle in my lines or anything, so that looks okay. It did wear off a lot around my eye area, as you can see that there as well. I'm gonna get up just a little bit more. So yeah, it kind of wore off around my eye area. I'm not sure why. I did wear sunglasses, but my sunglasses really doesn't touch the bottom of my eyes or my eye bag, so I'm not really sure why it wore off. It did wear off where I had the sunglasses, of course. I noticed that it wore off on my nose as well, and I didn't blow my nose today. I took Benadryl, so everything is dried up. But it did. You can see that my freckles on my nose are very prominent, so it wore away there as well. It did not gather up. This is always my problem area right here. It did not gather up or dry up or get crusty or cakey on the side of my nose, which I do appreciate, because that does happen with foundations that react poorly to my skin. You can see just that it still does a decent job of covering up my freckles and my beauty marks on my face. So it looks pretty good, I would say. Now, I want to show you my chin, and I hope you guys can see this. I don't think my camera is zooming in quite as close as I wanted to, but you can definitely see that it has worn off a lot on my chin. All of my hyper pigmentation is coming through around my mouth where it's darker. You can see the line right here. I have a little line from like a little scar right here, and you can see that the foundation kind of wore away at that scar. It is crusty. It's like, I don't want to say it's crusty, but it's breaking apart on my chin, which really does not happen with me with most foundations. But other than that, it has worked very well on my face. It looks good for the most part, but just again, not the best that I have ever used. Okay, you guys, so that's the end of this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I wish I was a little bit more positive about it, but I will not be buying this foundation, especially when I have so many foundations that I feel are much superior in formula for my skin. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up. If you like my content, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out, you guys.